The Pentagon has opened a probe into serious allegations of misconduct against Senator Mark Kelly that could result in recall to active duty for court-martial proceedings, just days after President Trump accused him of seditious behavior. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth strongly implied that the investigation revolves around a recent video in which Kelly and 5 other veteran Democrats implore service members to, quote, refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
So what exactly is sedition, and could it be something Mark Kelly is actually guilty of? Or is there something even more alarming at stake? Here's everything you need to know. Eugene Fidell is a senior research scholar specializing in military law at Yale Law School.
I have taught military justice at Yale Law School since 1993. I served in the U.S. Coast Guard as a judge advocate after I graduated from law school. Sedition is basically trying to overthrow the government, and not at the ballot box. So put it this way, it's a kinetic effort to overthrow the government.
The 60-second video titled "Don't Give Up the Ship" featured Senators Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan and Mark Kelly of Arizona, Representatives Chris DeLusso and Chrissy Houlihan of Pennsylvania, Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire, and Jason Crow of Colorado.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Most recently, on Tuesday, it was also revealed that the FBI and Justice Department officials have reached out to the 6 veteran Democrats for interviews.
The government backlash against Kelly and the 5 other Democratic lawmakers who appeared in the video began when President Trump lashed out in a shocking series of Truth Social posts. It's called seditious behavior at the highest level, Trump thundered. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. An example must be set. Seditious behavior punishable by death, another stunning post read. At one point, the president even reposted, "Hang them, George Washington would." The firestorm garnered so much traction online that at one point, GTMO, or Gitmo, a nickname for the Guantanamo Bay detention camp, was trending as a result of the sedition allegations.
I can read to you from the Manual for Courts-Martial, which gives a definition. So it says, anyone who with intent to cause the overthrow or destruction of lawful civil authority creates, in concert with any other person, revolt, violence, or other disturbance against that authority is guilty of sedition. That's the definition. And I'm here to tell you that nothing that Senator Kelly or the other 5 federal legislators said or did falls within that prohibition.
A few days after Trump's accusations of sedition against the 6, the Department of War announced a formal probe into Senator Kelly. All service members are reminded that they have a legal obligation under the Uniform Code of Military Justice to obey lawful orders, and that orders are presumed to be lawful. A service member's personal philosophy does not justify or excuse the disobedience of an otherwise lawful order, a statement released by the department said.
Legal orders come in a variety of forms, and illegal orders, unlawful orders, come in a variety of forms. An order can be as simple as meet me in my office at noon. That's a lawful order. There are some illegal orders or unlawful orders. I can give you an illustration. Here are the keys to my car. Drive my wife to the hairdresser. That's an unlawful order. Now, it doesn't call for the commission of a crime, but it's an unlawful order. So, they come in all sizes, large and small. When an order is unlawful and calls for the commission of an offense, such as shooting a person where you don't have a basis for doing that, that order has to be disobeyed. It's unlawful. If you do obey it and you find yourself in a trial, you're not going to win on your effort to get acquitted because it's an unlawful order, and you should have known that it was unlawful.
None of the 6 Democrats have specified any order issued by the White House or Pentagon that they believe to be unlawful. However, Slotkin has introduced legislation that would limit Trump's ability to deploy the National Guard in U.S. cities, and Crow is trying to pass legislation that would block the White House from conducting further strikes on suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific. And while the Secretary of War has staunchly defended the operations, Fidell asserts that they can be legally murky when it comes to soldiers following orders.
In order to shoot people who happen to be on boats that are believed to be carrying drugs without any questions and without any warning shots or any effort to disable the steering or the engine on such a boat. That's an unlawful order.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth personally chimed in on the video made by the legislators, whom he referred to as the Seditious Six, calling it despicable, reckless, and false. Former Navy Judge Advocate General Cully Stimson told Fox News that regardless of whether or not Kelly is found to have engaged in seditious behavior, that the video undermined good order and discipline.
The fact is that this video undermined good order and discipline. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were essentially wink, wink, nod, nod, telling members of the military that they should reflexively doubt the legality of the commander-in-chief's orders. And that's where they crossed the line politically.
Hegseth also explained that 5 of the 6 veteran Democrats in the video don't fall under the Department of War's jurisdiction, or are no longer subject to Uniform Code of Military Justice, as they are not eligible for recall to military service, unlike Kelly.
Many Americans have been scratching their head as to, how you get a retired officer, and Senator Kelly. And in my opinion, this case shows how they're subject to abuse. There's actually no argument. I would be misleading viewers if I tried to do that. There's nothing to work with if you were the prosecutor. If I was the trial counsel, which is the military term for prosecutor, I would tell the convening authority, the commander, you're wasting everybody's time with this case. And that's what I would tell the Defense Department right now. They should roll it up, finish it up, and turn to something else that has more merit.
In an appearance on MS Now Monday night, Kelly claimed his comments were pretty simple and non-controversial.
And that was that members of the military should follow the law. And in response to that, Donald Trump said, I should be executed. I should be hanged. I think it says a lot more about him than it says about me. He doesn't want accountability. But Rachel, I'm not going to be silenced. I'm not going to be intimidated.
His fellow seatmate from Arizona, an Iraq War veteran,
Ruben Gallego,
didn't keep his reaction so PC, posting a social media video in which he cursed out the war secretary.
This is insane. We should all point out how insane this is. Secretary Hegseth, all these guys, you guys, you're not going to be able to scare us. We have a right to defend the Constitution of the United States. We have a right to tell other service members that they have a right to ignore illegal orders, and you're not going to be able to intimidate us.
While what's to come in the probe of Mark Kelly remains unclear, Professor Fidell believes it may set a dangerous precedent about how far political punishment can go.
The most important thing is to make sure that there's no chilling effect on the exercise of independent judgment by our federal legislators, whether it's Senator Kelly or the other 5 or the other members of the House and Senate. The last thing we need is those people feeling tongue-tied when they express themselves, whether it's on the floor or outside the floor, but in their capacity as members of the House and Senate.